for adventure time. Msante for adventure time. Msante for adventure time.
On our way to the lovely Hout Bay, we will be going to Quentin at Oakhurst. As you can see, the mountain view is really giving exactly what it's meant to give. The clouds are hanging low, the sun is shining bright, and we're able to see the lovely flora and fauna that Cape Town has to offer. Hout Bay is a great area with so many different things to do, and we're about to go and make sure we do one of those great things. We have arrived here at Oakhurst, and we're about to go to Quentin at Oakhurst. And the view doesn't seem to change much. It's still this great Cape Town view. You'll see now as we drive in, we're gonna see the lovely Quentin at Oakhurst restaurant, where they give everything that needs to be given by a great restaurant here in Hout Bay. And Hout Bay itself is a lovely seaside neighborhood where you can come with the family, come with yourself, come on a solo date if you must. Here we are driving in. You should see exactly what I'm seeing right now, which is this lovely South African architecture that they have to offer here at Quentin at Oakhurst. Mzansi, and welcome back to your favorite food show, Mzansi Food Adventures. I'm Tyrone, and I'm your host. Today we're in the great mother city, Cape Town. More specifically, I'm right here in Hout Bay, or the Republic of Hout Bay, as the locals like to say. Today I'm going to have a lovely meal right here at Quentin at Oakhurst, an amazing farm-style restaurant which gives you the greatest home-style cooking, both modern and traditional cuisine. But don't take it from me. Book your ticket, get on that taxi, get that Uber or that Bolt, and come right here to Quentin at Oakhurst. So, follow me as we go in. Now, not only is this restaurant amazingly beautiful from the outside, but once you walk in, damn, look at the chandeliers, the lighting, the ambience. Right here we have one of the, is it one of the first? Literally one of the posters pre-1994 when Nelson Mandela was running for president. If you go up here, you have an entire wine cellar sort of experience with different brands of wines from different eras. It's a bit dark, I hope you can actually see, but look at the table setup, look at the pieces of artwork. Some of them are not even drawn pieces, but they're cutouts from newspapers, cutouts from like stamps and books, and Kimberly March, Ezra Reed. I hope you guys can see up there. Like, literally, this restaurant takes pieces of history, brings them together to create this eclectic looking space. I mean, right here, just in front of my face, is a huge chain. I'm sure that was from some sort of motor vehicle or horse carriage. And there's these huge mirrors all over. And you know us young people, forever trying to take pictures in mirrors. I mean, right over here we have a newspaper article from the New York Times. Just trying to rush over there quickly. South African hails President Mandela, first black leader, pledges racial unity. What a time to have been alive. And that's legit the vibe in this restaurant. It has all these different pieces of history, not just on paper, but literal parts of history. Over here are stamps, actually. Let me go over there and show you the different stamps. Look at this huge door. Okay, so here are the stamps. I'm not quite sure if you can see them clearly as clear as I can. And look, there's the Queen. Oh, Queen Elizabeth. I think this is King George, Queen Elizabeth's father. I mean, imagine walking into a restaurant and being able to experience a museum sort of effect. It really has everything and anything. The beautiful chandelier. The chandeliers are so amazing. Look at this.
I'm Quentin. I'm the very proud steward of this ship. We have 14 people on board, and we're one big happy family. We've survived COVID, and we're flourishing, and so onwards we go. Well, I would describe it as an eclectic mix of contemporary South African cuisines, inspired essentially by the sort of country cooking genre. So of course things are very substantial, the portions are healthy and robust, and typically we try and shorten the chain from farm to plate as best as possible. And we like to celebrate South Africa's great heritage of hearty, robust cooking and big, heart, soulful flavours. So that's how it's sum it up briefly, yeah. But I'd like to think one of the favourites on our menu is certainly the roast duck, which we do in our big pizza oven. Our seafood, because we're close to Hout Harbour, of course, is a firm favourite for us. So our bouillabaisse, seafood stews are very popular. Our springbok is also very popular with our visitors to South Africa. Everything down to lesser known subtle things like our sweet potato fritters, for example, which also proved to be quite a hit with everyone. So yeah, so that would more or less sum it up at the top of my head of the favourites. Although of course there's many more. The vibe and the atmosphere here is certainly pronounced with the oversized linen and the fine accoutrements, the heavier cutlery and the fine glassware. So all in all, we want to try and create a space or an experience of luxury. And along with that comes particular emphasis on things like lighting, ambience, and of course service. Measuring up the size of the tables was actually to get the level of the tables, because underneath each of our tables are little screw-up feet, so to speak, to even out for the uneven surfaces. So we try and create a level surface, a table surface. So as part of my regime prior to service, is along with my big stick, is to go around with my leveler. And I think what interested me in the beginning, essentially, or what inspired me to open my own restaurant, was many years of travel abroad. Predominantly doing catering sort of exercises, projects all over the world. And I think I yearned to come home, especially with a family, which became a little bit difficult at times. So yeah, so it was great to come home. It was an exciting period in South Africa's democracy, and there was a lot of optimism and opening up of certain foreign tourism markets, etc. So I think that, coupled with a wish really just to have a normal sort of homebound routine where I could come down and open up and go home and close up and go to sleep, so to speak. Yeah. What inspired me to establishing or to determining a theme for what I wanted to do, or rather a palette in terms of the experience, let alone the food, which I think we've covered as being sort of predominantly contemporary South African. I think the experience at large was about firstly the heritage around this property. It is one of the oldest farms in the Cape Peninsula. I think the title deed goes back to 1730 or somewhat. And also at the time, I referred to us being in a very positive, upbeat space, business-wise, particularly as it refers or relates to the tourism sector. I think at one stage tourism was growing at about 13%, which was about the only thing going at that time. So it made sense to really take advantage of that. And I think the key was when I turned around and saw, well, what the offering landscape looked like. I quickly realized that we are overwhelmed by Thai, Greek and Italian Eurocentric type restaurants. So yeah, so the natural inclination was to do a South African restaurant. In a way, I mean, if you look at it, you won't necessarily say it's a quintessential South African or stereotypical South African restaurant, because I mean, there's no kebabs and there's no samosas, etc., but more on a contemporary level, and more, I think, specifically on a country level, as it related to the centre of it all, which is the food, which is predominantly, as I say, that's Cape country cooking. It would essentially sum up my mantra: food-wise. Yeah.
When it comes down now, when we talk about parties or bars, you mentioned dark and spring. And you also said that you like to cut the distance between farm and kitchen. What inspired you to do that?
Well, I think what inspired me to reduce that footprint between farm to kitchen, or for that matter, in our case, predominantly from harbour to table, because we're obviously situated right over the sea. The coast is 3 kilometres down the road, and it makes up a big part of what we do. Yeah, so I was puzzled and confused about why we are so overwhelmed with imported salmon, which has to fly 7,000 miles here from Norway, which is the other side of the equator, the other side of the world for that matter. And I was just just a bit perplexed about the carbon footprint, and having to move fish around halfway to the other side of the world, when in fact on our doorstep right here is the most beautiful fish. And keeping that supply chain short benefits the harvester. So whether you're growing the beans or whether you're catching the fish, we like to put our money or our purchasing power back straight into their hands with the quickest route possible. So I think that's what it was about. And of course, freshness is another issue. I mean, the closer it is, typically the fresher it will be presented at the table. I would describe the atmosphere in the kitchen as pretty relaxed. We're a well-knit team. I think we started out from day one with pretty much 90% of our original complement are still on board. So we've managed to retain all our staff. And that has essentially given us, that continuity. Which is irreplaceable, in the kitchen, because the kitchen functionality operates on sort of dynamics and cohesion, because it's essentially a well-oiled machine. So where it really counts is where you've got 50, 60 people in your restaurant, and you've got 15 dockets in front of you. And equating to 45, 50, 60 dishes, and they all have to be delivered at one time. You need a well-oiled machine to be able to do that consistently. One Springbok medium, eh? What's going with the Springbok? Okay, there we go. Right, one Springbok. Yum yum. Okay, here we go. go. Okay, now we take the pan here and the juices. And just pour that on top. Grilled hake with hazelnuts, roasted hazelnuts and lemon butter. There we go. That's the story. Take the pan here and the juices. Grilled egg. Hazelnuts, roasted hazelnuts and lemon butter.
Food adventures, the moment any food connoisseur has been waiting for, has arrived. Before me, I have a lovely roasted hake with an amazing lemon thyme and hazelnut crust, served on top of sautéed broccolini, spinach, and roasted fennel plum tomatoes. It's accompanied by amazing homemade bread and a refreshing glass of Coke. But as they say, time waits for no man, and the proof is in the pudding. So let me take a bite of this amazing food. Immediately, the amazing zest of the lemon comes out and the fish is succulent. Perfectly made. Beautiful. Make sure you make your way here to Quentin's at Oakhurst to make sure you get an amazing plate of food. There's definitely something great about homemade bread. Well, that's all we have for this time in Cape Town. Please make sure you join us again here on Mzansi Food Adventures for amazing, great tastes and deadly South African flavors. This is Tyrone, signing out.
Mzansi Food Adventure Time. Mzansi Food Adventure Time. Mzansi Food Adventure Time. Mzansi Food Adventure Time.